Okay, here's another trig graphing review. So we want to get this in our form, so we have to get just an x over here, so we want to take out the pi, so we'll do that first. So I'll divide out by pi. And if I divide by pi, or multiply by 1 over pi, then this is just going to be 1/4. Okay. So double check it. If I multiply out, I get pi, and if I multiply this, I get pi over 4. So now I can see what I've got. I've got an amplitude of 2. Now the amplitude is always positive, so it's the absolute value of this. It's just, this is just going to flip it, so this is just reverses the shape. So we'll check that out when we graph it. My period is 2 pi over b, so that's going to be 2 pi over pi, which would be 2. I've got a horizontal shift of positive 1/4, so that's 1/4 to the right, and a vertical shift of -1. So once we've got all that, take a look at this. So this would be 2, so we'll count this as, I'll go like this so I have 4 subintervals, so this is going to be 2. And this would be 1, and this would be 1/2, and this would be 1 and 1/2, I guess, 1.5. Okay, there's my 2. Bring this down a little bit better so you can see that. Okay. Focus that. All right, and then I've got a vertical shift of -1. I'll put this -1. So I'll put my shift line down for -1. Okay, and what else now? Amplitude is 2, but we've got a -2. Oh, we've got a horizontal shift of 1/4. That's a little trickier, so I'm going to go 1/4. So instead of going from here to here, I'm going to move it over 1/4, which is half of a half, so everything's going to be over. So we've got here, 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 and there. So that'll be 2 1/4. And this will be 1 3/4. And this will be 1/4. 3/4. 1 1/4, or 5/4, I guess. And this would be 7/4. 7/4. This would be 9/4, 2 1/4. Okay? So instead of going from 0 to 2, it's going to go from 1/4 to 2 1/4. Okay? So I can put a little mark there so I know that's where I'm going. Just 1 cycle. Okay? And so we're going to start here, down here, actually on this. Now the cosine of 0 is normally 1, but we have an amplitude of 2, so it would normally be 2 above here, but I'm going in the opposite direction, so I'm going to start down here because of the minus, so it's going to flip. So cosine, again, the cosine of 0 is down here. Now, I'll put this down real quick. Now let's just put this number in and see what happens. So let me put 1/4 in up here and see what happens. So if I put 1/4 here, pi over 4 minus pi over 4 is 0, but the cosine of 0 is 1. Minus 2 times 1 is -2, and -1 is -3. So you see, it checks out. So there we go. That's a good way of checking your start point. But once you start it, it's okay. Then I go back to the 0 line over here at this next increment, my next key point. And then I'm going to go up to here. Back to the 0 line here. And back down 2. And remember, when it's upside down, it looks like a little mountain. So when I draw it, Normally it looks like a tongue, but it looks like a mountain like this when it's flipped. There you go. So it's a lot nicer when you have everything spaced out. Okay, so there's that one. Okay, so that looks like that. There's your shift, vertical. There's your vertical shift, horizontal shift, amplitude, flip. Okay, and period, 2 units.